All right, this is an acoustic guitar tutorial for Further by Lifehouse Creative. So this is in the key of E, so I'm gonna do no capo, just play in E. There are a lot of passing chord changes that happen through the song, so it is a little bit difficult, but I'm gonna kind of play through it and try to call out where the chords change as best as I can. And give you a couple pointers as well on there. There's like a couple of really quick passing chords that you could skip. Okay, so right from the beginning, whether we do this fade up intro or not, you can come in just like pretty normally. I wouldn't say very loud, but you can come in confidently on just the E during the fade up intro, okay? And then that intro happens 3 times, one with just acoustic, one that adds piano, one that adds full band. So I'm just gonna play from the very beginning there, try to line it up. There's the second intro. So you're just on E this whole time. On C sharp minor for the verse. B, E, A, B, C sharp minor, A, B, C sharp minor, A, C sharp minor, B. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it right there. So what I did there was if you're looking at the lead sheet, I skipped the G sharp minor, okay, because that in real life would be only one has stood, only one has been, G sharp minor, A, and that hand position is really hard to hit that quickly, so you can skip the G sharp minor, but if you want to play it and you want to tackle it, that is how it happens. So again, only one has stood, only one has been, G sharp minor, only one remains, C sharp minor, B, forever reign. And then on that last line, you just hold that B, because on the lead sheet it goes to a B over D sharp, but we don't need to worry about the D sharp because that's just a bass note, so we stay on that B. Okay, so like I said, for that whole thing, you can just skip the G sharp minor that happens in the second half of that verse. And then for verse 2, it just repeats that chord progression. So let me just go back a tiny bit here. Okay, so C sharp minor. To the A. B, C sharp minor. Skip the G sharp, go right to A, C sharp minor, B. Chorus starts with A, C sharp minor, B, A, C sharp minor, B. Go to the A, B, C sharp minor. Sharp minor, B, okay? And then it goes into the intro, which is just the E. So again, if you're looking at the lead sheet, I also skipped the G sharp minor in the chorus as well. That's gonna be a lot easier for you, so further where your glory dwells. Repeat that. Charging onward till the storms are still. In real life, it would be rooted deeper, like the G sharp minor on rooted, and then A deeper, and then it keeps moving on. But you can skip that G sharp minor. You can just go A, C sharp minor, B, A, C sharp minor, B again, but then rooted deeper, just right to the A, now B, C sharp minor, okay? And then the rest lifted higher, A, C sharp minor, B, And then it takes us right into the intro again, which is just the E. Right now, verse 3 is going to be the same as the other verses. Just skip the G sharp minor, C sharp minor, D, E, A, C, C sharp minor, A, B, C sharp minor, right to the A, C sharp minor, B, back to the chorus to take us A, C sharp minor, B, A, C sharp minor, B, right to the A here, E, C sharp minor, A, C sharp minor, B, repeat that chorus to take us A, C sharp minor, B, repeat that, A, C sharp minor, B, right to the A, B, C sharp minor, A, C sharp minor, B, then go to an A, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, ready, and to the E, B, C sharp minor, E, B, A. Repeat that, E, B, C sharp minor, E, B, A. Okay, so then that chord progression is gonna go for the first half of each bridge there, but I just wanted to highlight here that most of the time I've been doing a rhythm that's been more like dun 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 dun. Okay, and then for this instrumental and for the bridges, then I switched to 1, 2, bum bum ba bum dun 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 dun. That's a little bit of a different rhythm than the rest of the song has been. Okay, so just take note of that. So then through the bridges, that chord progression that you were playing in that instrumental both times happens in the first half of the bridges. So, unending love has covered us, set apart we're victorious. But then the second half is gonna go many more chord changes. Okay. The old is gone and the new has come. We'll run this race because our King is won. Okay, so what that was E, B, C sharp minor, B, A, F sharp minor, down to the E, B, E. Okay, so what I would suggest for whenever you go to an F sharp minor, okay, it's kind of like a B, just inverse like this. Okay, so F sharp minor, what I would do is just slide these fingers down like this. Usually you would play an E with these 3 fingers, your middle finger, not using your pointer finger. But if you're playing an F sharp minor like this, it's going to be easiest just to slide them down and then change it for the B and then back for the E. And you can play it that time normally. But that's just a suggestion, going from F sharp minor to E. It's just easier to keep those fingers the same. So let me just play through a couple of these bridges. Just so that you can kind of hear it with it, but there's 6 bridges, so I'm just gonna like maybe go up through the one that extends and then stop it there. So this is the end of the instrumental. E, B, C sharp minor, sharp minor, E, B, E. Hold that E, starts on E again, E, C sharp minor, E, B, A, E, B, C sharp minor, B, A, F sharp minor, kind of build here. If you want to switch to just this, you can, because you're building here, so you can just go really straight rhythm. C sharp minor, B, A, F sharp minor, and then hold it out for an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, and lift. Come back in on the C sharp minor, and then E, A. Okay? So what I did there is, at the end of each bridge, it holds out, we'll run this race because our king is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it starts at the beginning of the bridge normally. But in the third bridge, we have an extension into that lift going into the fourth bridge. Okay, so it's going to hold out just one extra measure. So you're going to go. Has covered us. So in that lift, we're missing, like, basically we're skipping over what would have been the E and the B, starting that chord progression in the bridge. Okay, so the E and the B would have happened during where we're lifting. So when you come back in really strong, you're coming in on that C sharp minor, and then it goes back to, like, you're just following the rest of it like normal. Set apart to the A. Okay, and then normal. The old is gone and the new has come. Okay, so then the instrumental, once you go through the rest of the bridges, or there's the fourth one and the fifth one that are big, and then what's going to happen is for the sixth one, that is the drum breakdown, obviously you're going to cut out. You're not going to play that whole time. And then what I would suggest is there's a couple of instruments that come back in and build near the end of it, and they start on that F sharp minor at the end of that instrumental. We'll run this race because our king has won. Okay, so then you can come in starting on that F sharp minor if you would like, if you know where it is, but I also don't want everybody to come in there. It's supposed to be like a build into the instrumental being big, so you don't have to come in and build there. You can just wait until King has won and then start on the big instrumental. So then this instrumental confuses people sometimes because through all of the bridges so far, we have had an extension. King is 1, 2, 3, 4 before we start the next chord progression, starting with an E. But instead, at the very end of the last bridge, it goes King has, and then on the word one, W-O-N, we start on the one, okay, the first beat of that instrumental. So we go, it starts to build in, we'll run this race because our king has, and then E, B, C sharp minor, E, B, A, and then the rest of the chord progression is the same thing that we've been doing in the bridges, okay? So let me just show you the very end of that bridge so that you can hear what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can hear this is the bridge with the drum breakdown. So when people start to build in, we'll run this race because our, and then instrumental, E, B, start with a light chorus. Back in really strong. So this is if we're doing the full version and we come back in there. So this is the only time that you probably need to do the G sharp minor in the chorus. Okay, so the other times you can skip it. On this entrance back in, we come back in really strong on the G sharp minor. Okay, so you would need to go rooted deeper. Okay, so so again, the lightness of the first chorus is that first chord progression, A, C sharp minor, B. So we would come in on G sharp minor, A. Where I did was B. Okay, so then once you're back in it, then like when it's full band, you can skip that G sharp minor again. The only trick maybe that I would give you is if you're for sure having struggle with this like G sharp minor to A. So again, one trick is that you could just hit it twice like I just did, go rooted, and then like lift your hands up in silence to go to the A. So you could go rooted deeper. Okay? Or you could just do a so you could just do like you're just holding your hands just very lightly over the strings and muting them and just go. Okay, you could just do that. So you could just do 2 hits and then just go right to the A and skip the G sharp minor altogether like we've been doing. So that's a trick as well. So just be aware of that. Like I'll just go from that soft part of the chorus. Okay, so we're not playing here. Let's just pretend like we're going. Will crash, so you'll go. Okay. All right. So that is a very complicated song, but that is the basic gist of it and just some tips on how you can figure it out. So as always, let me know if you have any questions or you need any help with anything.